Yes, for me, I think it's really a calling, Doc Risi. Kasi para bang kapag ka andyan ka na, hindi mo kailangan lang na maging just an ordinary dentist, no? Para bang kailangan mo na mag-dig ka pa or you explore more.
Mhm.
Kasi parang ang hirap naman na kinuha mo yung profesyon, pero parang hindi mo naman in-enjoy or naging ano ka, naging bahagi ka ng profesyon. Sabi nga nila, if you become a teacher, be the best teacher.
I look at it as a service,
Mhm.
no, and giving back, no, to the community, no. So like yung what happened sa akin, siguro this is a calling that talaga I have to do this service, no, to bring back to or to give back to the community yung profession nito.
Welcome to Safe Space Connects, where we bring together the brightest minds in dentistry. Join us as we explore the art and science of the oral world. So, open wide and enjoy listening. Ang guests natin ngayon ay hindi lang isa, kundi dalawang dentista na may magkaibang expertise na madalas nagtutulungan para sa maganda at dekalidad na oral treatment. Mula sa confident smiles hanggang sa advanced oral surgery at dental implants, marami tayong matututunan mula sa kanila. Please welcome Dr. Ricky Gadbodon and Dr. Robert Kiambao. Before anything else, how are you today, Doc Robert?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for inviting us here, Doc. We've been seeing this often in the social media, and we are very fortunate that we are here now. Thank you.
Well,
Hi, Dr. Ricky.
hi. Thank you for inviting me here because I know that this is a good platform for all the dentists looking and watching out. And then I hope that we could be a good instrument in delivering some info regarding dentistry and another science of dentistry implant.
Bago tayo magsimula, ikwento niyo muna sa amin, Doc. Paano kayo napunta sa field of dentistry?
Oh, well, for me, siguro, actually, talaga namang hindi pagde-dentistry ang gusto ko, Doc Risi, eh. Just to be honest with you, I'm about to enter seminarian and to become a priest.
Talaga, Doc?
Yes, because during high school, I came from a Catholic school and talagang medyo ang mga madre at pari doon talagang nakatingin sa amin, ano? And then, well, sabi nga nila, many are called but few are chosen. So that's why when I finished my high school, nakita ko ang sentro escolar.
Okay.
And now, since my father is a prosecutor, sabi ko, teka, parang ang tawag naman sa akin nung high school is si attorney. Kaya lang, parang mas maganda ang view sa sentro escolar. Mas maraming magaganda doon. Kasi sa San Beda, which is yung katapat, parang puro guys at puro kotse.
Aha.
Sabi ko sa brother ko na nag-aaral siya sa UE noon, Kuya, I think mas maganda itong kapaligiran sa CEU. So I took dentistry, the pre-dent, all throughout. Kaya doon nag-umpisa, sabi ko nga, hindi magpapare, hindi maglo-lawyer, dentist.
Naging dentista. How about you, Dr. Robert?
Okay, sa akin, kung si Doc Ricky gusto muntik ka maging priest, sa akin, actually, first choice is I want to be a medical doctor. Pero ang gusto kong linya is surgery talaga. Kaya lang, when I was 16 years old, I had this bacterial meningitis, which I was confined in the hospital for almost a month, and I was in coma for 3 days because of that. No? And yung source is coming from a tooth. So dun nagkaroon ng interest ako maging dentista. But sabi ko, sige, I want to be a dentist, but gusto ko yung linya ng surgery.
So, Doc, you wanted to challenge the bacteria.
Yeah, because the reason is coming from a decayed tooth na get infected, and it reaches my meninges of my brain. And that's why I was very interested, no? Paano nangyari yon? That's why nag-dentistry ako.
You had been hospitalized and
For almost 1 month, yeah. Lahat, my motor movement was gone. So usually natutulit ako paano maglakad. No?
wow.
With the help of of course, my late father. No? Siya yung nag-encourage sa akin na to stand up, get up, and fight this infection or what happened to me. So that's why yung interest ko with dentistry is nandun na. No? That's why when during college, I took up that dental hygiene course for 2 years to check if my brain can cope up with that studies. No?
Mhm.
Pero so far, okay naman. Then I went to dentistry, then finished the course.
You believe that, do you both believe that dentistry is a calling?
Yes, for me, I think it's really a calling, Doc Risi. Kasi para bang kapag ka andyan ka na, hindi mo kailangan lang na maging just an ordinary dentist, no? Para bang kailangan mo na mag-dig ka pa or you explore more. Kasi parang ang hirap naman na kinuha mo yung profesyon, pero parang hindi mo naman in-enjoy or naging bahagi ka ng profesyon. Para bang mas gusto ko siguro na, sabi nga nila, if you become a teacher, be the best teacher. Parang ganon. So, tama, it's a calling, Doc Risi, for me.
Ikaw, Doc.
Yeah, same. Because for me, I look at it as a service, no, and giving back, no, to the community, no. So like yung what happened sa akin, siguro this is a calling that talaga I have to do this service, no, to bring back to or to give back to the community yung profession nito.
It's nice.
So I have a few questions to the both of you. First, for Dr. Ricky, you've been in the dentistry field for so many years. Ano ang pinakamalaking pagbabago na nakita ninyo sa dentistry mula noon and hanggang ngayon?
Wow, napakagandang question that would really lead to some of the audience and listeners now, yung awareness. Number one, Doc Risi, ang isa sa pinaka pagbabago, no, is the digital dentistry. I should say that in aesthetics, parang noon, we go on just the basic impression. Now we have digital impression now. Para bang hindi na tayo pahuhuli sa mga European country. So, yun yung isa. Number one, digital dentistry. And another one is the kind of materials we're using now. Before, para lang tayong after the extraction, magpupustiso yan or gagawa ng restoration. But now, we get a lot of good materials now. Especially the compatibility sa atin, sa human, no? Para bang nagiging parang mas madikit at mas matibay ang mga materials like the zirconia or something. And then another one is siguro sabihin ko na rin is the infection control. Noon we just got sterilization lang yan. May mga kung anumang mga ginagamit natin to sterilize materials now, but nowadays we got the high vac now, the HEPA filters. Grabe yung advent ng modern technology. So that's how I see it. Kung paano yung parang evolution. Though I'm not too old naman to say that. But for me, I'm just really observing how dentistry evolved. So doon ko nakita. And number one, and maybe last is the mindset of the patient. I should say that mindset is like, ang mga pasyente ngayon is not just a pain patient.
Yes.
Pumupunta na sila ngayon because they are so conscious about what they're going to have or whatever treatment they're going to have. Parang they Google, they watch TikTok or they watch a lot of in the social media. So it's mindset talaga. Iba na ngayon ang trend. That's why, well, that's a very nice question to impart.
The good thing about it is that patients nowadays are very aware of what they like and what they need, right? So knowing Dr. Ricky, he's been all over the world, diba? And also you are affiliated with the PAED or the Philippine Academy of Aesthetic Dentistry. So you have been seeing Filipinos practice already what is at par from the other countries, am I right? Nakikita mo naman, Doc. And then I think you are also helping Filipinos to be mentored by speakers who are flying to the Philippines. Hindi na nila kailangan magbayad ng malaki or magbayad for plane tickets para lang matuto dun sa specific mentor na I think you have brought a few speakers here, Doc.
Actually, since I was the past president of the Philippine Academy of Aesthetic Dentistry, which is the main mission and vision is that to bring all the speakers, tama ka, instead of all the Filipinos going there, of course, the airfare, the hotel accommodation
Especially
is too
the gas
expensive.
prices have been up, diba?
Yes. So our organization or our academy tend to bring those good speakers, and then so that the Filipino could really make something out of it. Para
Mhm.
bang, uy, take advantage. Andyan ang mga expert, andyan ang mga taga-style Italiano, which are
Oo.
really expert in
Mm,
aesthetic
mm.
dentistry. So parang it is now the mindset of everyone,
Mhm.
both on the patient and both on the operators. Kaya kami sa aesthetics parang tipong, oy, wag kang papahuli, kailangan alam mo to. Kailangan medyo abreast ka sa mga technology ngayon.
I'm quite fascinated that we all know that the Europeans and Americans, they can be innovators and they can start because they can afford doing so much research and stuff like that. But the Filipinos, now that they are adapting to the new trend, what is your recommendations to do mentorship? Is it just here in the Philippines or go out of the country?
Well, first and foremost, as what I'm observing now, so let's talk on the young dentists nowadays because I know that the former dentists or yung mga dentistang nauna sa amin, maybe they are just go on the traditional. Parang tipong, oh, I know that, attend lang ako ng ganito. But now this time is different. Number one, siguro as a speaker and lecturer like Dr. Robert now, we have the awareness of doing like before you teach something, you have to be expert in your field.
Yes.
Kasi kailangan namin na maging ehemplo. Para bang tipo bang tama ba ginagawa mo? Kaya lang, ito lang yung napansin ko, no? Nowadays, marami tayong mga young dentists and even yung mga hindi naman not so young anymore. They tend to do such like procedure na para bang, sige kasi yan ang uso, gagawin ko. So I'm so saddened about it dahil bakit? Minsan nagsasuffer yung ipin just for the heck of give me a Kardashian smile, a Kardashian look. No, sometimes parang nakakaawa. Sabi nga nila try to save the tooth while nobody's looking at you.
Yes.
Para bang yun yung mindset na gusto ko talagang maiparating that before kayo mag-indulge into modern technology, at least you know at least the basic. Alam ninyo kung ano yung dapat ninyong i-preserve. So siguro yun yung sa mentoring namin sa mga as speakers and lecturer. Parang we have to bring good lecture na hindi magsasuffer na para lang for the heck of the modern technology like make a Hollywood white parang gano'n kahit hindi naman bagay. So siguro yun yung aming mission dito. Instead of bringing those na parang lahat ng speakers pero kailangan andun yung mentorship. Kaming mga Filipino, tayo dito, maging aware na sandali lang. Wag naman yung parang just to give that because of the influence of the social media, ganun ang mangyayari.
Even Dr. Robert, I know you've had so many experiences. You've flown all over the world for mentorship, and now you're a mentor yourself. What can you say to the Filipino young generation that na nagmamadali sila? But ano yung mabibigay mong mga suggestions or advices for the young
For the young
dentists?
dentists?
Oo.
Actually, I agree with Doc Ricky. No, because of the social media, because of the dissemination of information. Yeah, now yung mga patient knows already. No, they know the treatment. They watch it in YouTube. Kung anong gagawin mo. Sometimes medyo marunong pa nga sila sa'yo sometimes no.
Yes.
So siguro ako I would really say that no, so you have to really study. Okay? Number one, the most basic is in the surgery part is before you do the extraction, you have to have an X-ray. Unfortunately, nakakalungkot, even now, there are a lot of dentists doing this procedure na walang X-ray. And when you ask them, bakit hindi ka nag-request ng X-ray? The most common na sinasabi, Dok, kasi walang pera. Okay? So sabi ko, how will you know that there's a pathological lesions underneath na mas delikado pag napabayaan? No? Kasi you have to have an X-ray. And I was always telling them that the X-ray should be at least before and after.
Yes.
Or at least you have the preoperative and the postoperative. And also, I usually advise them that, remember, your patient is knowledgeable about the treatment. So you have to know what you're doing and you have to prepare. No? Gone are the days na medyo feeling mo mas alam mo yung procedure than the patient. Sometimes because of this technologies and the information, they know already. Okay, you have to be prepared, and you should know what you are doing,
Mhm.
and you should know what you are talking about, and be ready to answer whatever inquiries that they will ask you, but answer it truthfully.
Mhm.
Actually, that's what I tell my students.
With you having so much knowledge, do you believe that experience is still the best teacher?
Yeah. I've been in the practice of surgery for 26 years now. Before, actually, when I finished my training in 2000, I was talking to you a while ago that,
Yes, Doc.
yeah, ang gusto mo lang gawin is gawa ka ng gawa, no?
Oo.
You're not concerned about the complications because
Ganun tayo
you think
ka-aggressive eh, no?
you think alam
Yes.
mo lahat eh, right?
Oo.
But the moment complication sets in, then you realize na, nako, parang mali yata yung ginawa ko no? And then you will have complications.
Mhm.
Then you don't know how to handle it. Okay? Kaya usually lagi ko sinasabi, your complication, that will be your best mentor
Mhm.
because you will never forget. Okay? As the years that you've been practicing, you grow more, you
Mhm.
learn more, and mas nagiging maingat ka when it
Mhm.
comes, especially in surgery, because you know already that this might happen and complications is just around the corner.
So for the listeners and the viewers, Doc Robert, marami pa ring Pilipino takot sa oral surgery. Bakit po kaya ganito ang perception ng mga maraming pasyente?
Siguro nagsimula yan nung unang panahon, no? Sometimes when we do, like ako in my practice, when I do surgery, sabihin ng mga mom, bakit nung panahon namin walang impacted?
Oo.
Because during that time, ang tawag sa dentist bunot.
Mhm.
Pag may konting masakit, bunot na. So nagkakaroon ng space for the third molar to erupt. Now, hindi na ngayon kasi conservative eh. We want a more conservative approach, and mas na-realize sila na we can save the tooth
Mhm.
already. Natatakot sila because siguro number one is fear of the unknown, no? Kwento nung kaibigan na naka-experience ng surgery
Mm.
na hindi maganda experience, then pinasa sa kaibigan. Then yung kaibigan before the treatment nanood ng video about
Aha.
certain procedures, which marami akong pasyente ngayon eh.
Mm.
Then tatawag, "Dok, ka-cancel ko muna." Why? Kasi nakakatakot, napanood ko sa YouTube, ganito pala yan. So, yun nangyayari, no? That's why actually ako in my part, I try to educate my patient.
Mhm.
Just recently, no, I have a patient, tumawag sa akin, "Dok, kasi yung third molar ng anak ko baka daw ma-paralyze kasi malapit sa nerve."
Okay.
Ganyan po ba't pwedeng mangyari? Kasi the word is paralyze.
Aha.
Kung ikaw nga naman
Mm.
yung normal na tao,
Correct.
mapaparalyze ako pag talaga yung third molar ko, syempre matatakot ka, no? Not knowing about, not paralyzed. That will be a temporary anesthesia. It's a paresthesia.
Aha.
I actually talked to the mom. Sabi ko, yes, this thing can happen, but we can manage. No? And not talaga naman paralyzed.
Mhm.
Okay, so we can manage. There are certain cases that may ganyan pwedeng mangyari, but we need to have that radiograph,
Mhm.
or we can request for a more advanced CT scan to be able to really confirm whether that tooth is really inside the mandibular canal to prevent this misconceptions about baka
Yeah.
ma-paralyze.
So, sabihin po natin sa mga nakikinig at viewers na hindi naman po talaga nakakatakot ang oral surgery, ang implants, magpabunot. Sometimes, the traditional way before when we were younger, panakot ng magulang, sige, be good or else dadaling kita sa ano, or i-injectionan ka. So, alisin po natin sa pananaw ng mga tao na ang pagpunta sa dentista is nakakatakot. It's more of we are here to educate and guide our patients the proper way of visiting the dentist without pain. Am I right, Doc? Na? Or walang sira for restoration or for ano. So matututo rin naman sana yung mga kabataan na gano'n na yung pananaw rin nila. So, Dr. Ricky, kilala ka for being a good mentor at educator. Ano ang isang lesson na gusto ninyong maipasa sa mga young dentists ngayon?
Wow, okay. Though it's not a tough question, but it's a very challenging question siguro for me, no? Since I've been in dentistry for quite a long time now,
How many years na, Doc?
um,
Secret.
secret, well, I graduated 90.
Okay.
Okay, and then I took my licensure the same year.
Mhm.
So counting the
In
years
CEU, right?
at CEU.
Oo.
Okay, as a mentor, I think the only thing that I would love to, that the young dentists now, I know mas marami talaga ngayong mas nanonood, mas nasa social media. Siguro I would repeat that you will be remembered as to not how many crowns you did, but as how many dentists or young dentists you guided them
Mhm.
in order to preserve the tooth. Since I'm a lecturer, I'm a speaker about aesthetic dentistry, it's categorically, it falls on a restorative. Kasi ang aesthetic kasi wala pa namang aesthetic science eh. Parang kami yung sub-science na para bang under restoration pa rin. So I think it is not how many crowns or how many dentures you did, but how many young dentists you guided them on how to protect the teeth.
Mhm.
Kasi parang ang dali-dali namang gumawa talaga ng paglalagay ng missing tooth or teeth. But ang problema dito eh, inalagaan mo ba siya? Or in the name of beauty and
Mhm.
aesthetics, dapat kinonsider ko yon. And I know that patients now are really aesthetically driven. Hindi sila pumupunta lang ng clinic because they have something. Like for example, like Doc Robert now, hindi lang yan sa implant eh.
Mhm.
Talagang meron sila talagang mission na ipagawa because they wanted to, the capture the smile of Tom Cruise or kung sino man yung ngipin na napaka-gwapo o napakaganda, no? Parang yun na ngayon ang thinking nila. So that's why we are more responsible.
Mhm.
Tayong mga speakers and lecturers, since pinagsama tayo, Doc Robert,
Mm.
ngayon, that we do speak before many dentists, fellow dentists, and even young dentists now, they're looking forward na ano bang mapapala ko
Yes.
dito?
Mm-mm.
Ano bang sinasabi nito? Tama ba ito o hindi? So, we have to set a good example. And I would like to thank all those dentists before us talaga because they opened the door already. And then for me siguro, as the nasa middle ano naman ng aking edad, I have to keep that open so that the new generation can still go inside.
Mhm.
Parang I have to keep it open. Hindi ko siya isasarado
Mhm.
and by way of giving them those good lectures, and I think I can still guide them.
And I think the both of you can agree that dentistry is not a game. Hindi yan paramihan ng veneers na nagawa, paramihan ng implants na nagawa, 'di ba? It's more of like the process or the experience that you had a good mentor along the way of doing so many restorations or doing so many extractions or implants. Uh, Dr. Robert, marami ring myths pagdating sa dental implants. Ano ang pinaka-common misconception na naririnig ninyo mula sa inyong mga pasyente?
Actually, yung common na hindi siya nasisira.
Mhm.
Na akala nila once you place the implant, it's forever. No, sabi nga
Mhm.
walang forever, di ba? But we have to educate them that, yes, hindi siya nagkakaroon ng caries.
Mhm.
But remember, the bone that supports the implant, which is the alveolar bone, is very important. You have to really take care of that. Same as how you take care for your oral hygiene. So, pwedeng masira yung bone that supports the implant. Then, pag yan ang nasira, then mag-fail yung implant.
Mhm.
Another misconception is they thought that when you talk about implant, ang ilalagay mo doon is talagang ngipin na natural na
Mhm.
mag-grow yung ngipin.
Oo.
No, yun yung kanilang akala. Dok, akala ko ba may ngipin na yan? No. So, we have to place the titanium and we have to give time for that implant and bone to heal. We call that osseointegration to be able to get that restoration that we want. But
Mhm.
we have to really wait for months to be able for that to heal. Then
Mhm.
you have to tell them that. Kasi akala nila na pag-implant, tapos na. So I have the implant, hindi na ito masisira panghabang buhay na, which is hindi naman.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we always, like in my practice, the moment you place the implant, you have to do the recall.
Mm-mm.
The recall of ako kasi sa practice ko, I do recall every 3 months on the first year, then every 4 months on the second year, then every 6 months twice a year, and yearly checkup na.
Mhm.
Kasi you have to monitor also the bone that supports the implant. Kasi there are factors that can there are a lot of factors that pwede siya mag-fail. Number one is patient's compliance, no? Oral hygiene,
Mhm.
function of the prosthesis. That's why you have to really do it properly.
Mhm.
Kasi remember, implant is, kaya marami nag-implant na ngayon, di ba, Doc, no?
Oo.
Yung implant, parang sabi ko before, 5 years, 7 years before, sabi ko yung implant after mga ilang years, parang yung ortho.
Mhm.
Marami nang gumagawa. Kasi even now, in the undergrad, meron ng subject of
Yeah.
implant. Di ba implant? They have the
Correct.
subject already.
We already
No?
have that in
So,
college.
yes, I always tell my students, yes, yung ROI is mabilis,
Mhm.
pero mabilis din mawala yung ROI mo. Kasi remember, if the patient can afford to pay for the implant, they can also afford to pay a lawyer and sue you
Yeah.
pag hindi maganda yung trabaho mo. That's why you have to really prepare for it.
Okay. Doc Ricky, sa panahon ng smile makeovers at social media, what you were saying earlier, paano ninyo binabalance ang aesthetics at long-term oral health?
Ayan, that's also a good thing to discuss about it. Well, sa akin, if a certain patient come in sa clinic, no?
Mhm.
And then she would be asking me na, Doc, can you do a 10-unit veneers? And then I have to assess. The proper diagnosis must be come in. Sabi ko nga, kailangan i-consider natin, ito ba ay babagay?
Mhm.
Because ang nakasalalay dito, aesthetics
Mhm.
and ethics.
Mhm.
I think I can correlate with that.
Yes.
Because sometimes, in the name of aesthetic dentistry, parang nawawala yung yung ethical standard. It is the work ethics wherein hindi mo naman kailangan gawin pero ginagawa mo. So how to balance it? Siyempre still human pa rin yan,
Mhm.
and maybe later on maniningil din yan.
Mhm.
Sasabihin bakit natin ginawa yon, like for example, a 28-year-old patient dumating sa clinic, and then medyo hindi lang maganda pero still healthy yung ipin. And then you tried it, mismo yung pasyente, as what I'm saying, hindi na kasi sila yung pain patient ngayon eh. They are aesthetically driven patient. Alam
Mhm.
nila yan because of the social media influence. So what we can do, how to balance it? Siyempre oral health ang pinag-uusapan. Siguro sasabihin ko lang sa kanya, alin ang mas pipiliin mo? Yung aesthetic ngayon kung ilang panahon lang, or yung a 40-year-old restoration.
Mhm.
Siguro it's a matter of mindsetting din kasi kailangan pa rin.
Yeah.
Ako, I go with the science of advancement. Hindi ko yan dinidefy.
Mhm.
I go for it. Hindi ako nagsasarado ng pinto sa mga digital advancement. But of course, kailangan pa rin nating malaman na yung oral health pa rin ng pasyente ang
Mhm.
number one. So, it's a matter of explaining it well, proper diagnosis, and then maybe what could be the prognosis after, or very technical, no? Ano yung magiging resulta kung ano yung magiging igagawin mo sa iyong pasyente.
So what you're saying, like patients should not only be aesthetically driven, no?
Correct.
You also have to balance the occlusion, the
Correct.
function, and everything. So magandang malaman rin kasi ng mga viewers natin na hindi porket alam na ninyo yung gustong ipagawa, eh, yun yung para dapat sa inyo,
Correct.
'di ba?
I agree.
Bilang oral surgeon, mayroon bang isang patient case o experience na tumatak na talagang all throughout your career?
Actually, if you talk about maisa, hindi lang isa, madami.
Ah,
No? Pero, well, siguro one case that we did is we extracted a tooth which has a intraosseous hemangioma.
okay.
No? So, we encountered profuse bleeding. Okay.
Mm.
And we had the hard time controlling that bleeding, no? Kasi it's located inside the bone. Okay. So it took us about more than 2, 3, 4 hours to control it.
Mhm.
So we can the moment we remove the tooth, you see the profuse bleeding is already there.
Yes.
Okay. So we tried everything. Cautery, we cannot cauterize because it's inside the bone.
Yes.
Second, the moment you place the gauze inside, the moment you remove the gauze, continue pa rin yung bleeding.
Mhm.
So ang naka-manage lang is bone wax. So we have to place bone wax inside the socket. But we have to, kasi it happens in our clinic in Davao. So we are in the hospital. So we have to bring the patient to the ER. So to have that IV line and we observe the patient if we need to do some
Transfusion.
blood transfusion. Although hindi naman ganun kadami na necessitate blood transfusion, but we have to place the patient on an IV line. Although we know already that that is an hemangioma, but we had a difficulty controlling it. But we were able to control it, pero it took us a lot of time to control it.
With you being the expert himself, yourself, do you like sometimes when you do cases, sometimes ba you pause and then you take a breather, or pag nahihirapan ka na doon, pumipikit ka na lang, magdadasal ka na lang ba, or ano?
Actually, I do that. And I also tell this to my student that the moment that you notice na walang nangyayari sa ginagawa mo, you have to stop, then reassess. Look at the radiograph, then assess bakit hindi mo matanggal ang ngipin na yan. So yes, I always do that. No? Although matagal na sa practice, pero every case is a new learning. Actually, just last year, when we talk about complications, so I performed a procedure under general anesthesia wherein I removed 6 impacted teeth with an ameloblastoma. So we removed the ameloblastoma, we removed those impacted teeth. Unfortunately, when the patient is, they were ready to extubate it, bumaba yung vital signs ng pasyente.
Okay.
Actually, bumaba talaga. So they have to, as in nag-flatline yung patient. So they have to revive it. That's why yung OR theater namin, ang dami ng doctor. I was looking at my patient, sabi ko, nako. Sabi ko, I hope walang mangyaring masama. But they were trying to revive it already.
Okay.
Alam mo, yung sinabi ko na lang, sabi ko, pag ito talagang worst scenario, may mangyari sa pasyente ko, sabi ko, mag-aesthetics na lang ako. Kasi baka walang complications sa aesthetics, pero buti na
Mag-apply na lang tayo kay
Doc
Doc Ricky,
So, buti
no?
na lang, God is good. No, they were able to revive the patient. And but we have to bring the patient to the ICU for observation.
Okay.
And okay naman yung pasyente. So the patient is okay now, no? Kaya nga sinasabi ko, ito yung buhay ng ng Sorehano.
Yeah.
Na talagang
Correct.
when we talk about surgery, may kasamang complications. So, miski na maganda yung work mo, meron pa ring mangyayari. And the important thing is you have to learn how to recognize and manage such complications.
You agree. Doc Ricky also have to learn how to plan. Diba? If plan A doesn't work, there's plan B, and diba? So, for both of you, I have a few questions. Paano nagtutulungan ang aesthetic dentistry, oral surgery at implants para mabigyan ng pinakamahusay na outcome ang isang pasyente?
Well, I think I should say that this is a good combination, Doc Robert, Doc Risi, no? Kasi ngayon lang din ako nagkaroon ng ganitong pag-uusap, no? Aesthetics combining with the surgery or particularly the implant. Actually, pagkatapos naman talaga ng sa implant is kailangan yung cosmetic, no? Kailangan din yung aesthetic approach niyan. So talagang magkaibigan, magkapatid yan no? Parang andun yung calling. So siguro para lang mabigyan natin ng good relationship on how to go with it, yung as what you're asking me kung paano ba magbabalanse ito, no? Palagay ko unang-una right and proper diagnosis talaga. Kung indicated ang isang pasyente for an implant, why not? Lalo na sa ganda ng technology ngayon with the advent of CBCT, mga X-ray and scanners, hindi na imposible at parang napakakonti na ng percentage para magkamali. Kaya lang there's still an area wherein you have to consider din syempre yung total health ng pasyente. Minsan na-overlook natin yan, Doc Robert, pag minsan para maybe we are overwhelmed with some cases. But for me on the aesthetics, siguro I should say na madaling sabihin, pero para to balance yung oral health ng pasyente, palagay ko kailangan pa rin malaman ng pasyente na is it really indicated for you? Talaga bang kailangang i-veneer ito or i-crown? So still it falls on, babalik pa rin ako dun sa ethics pa rin ng dentista na para bang it must be conscientiously doing it well kasi pwede mong pagsabayin and you will gain trust, I think. Parang sa akin lang, ibigay mo yung dapat,
Mhm.
i-explain mo ng maayos, I think they would really go for it. Sometimes we have to suspend treatment. Minsan may mga pasyenteng very demanding, and as what they look into us are magician or gods, no? Doc, gawin mo akong ganito.
Mhm.
Gawin mo akong kasing ganda o kasing gwapo nito. But sometimes sasabihin ko sa kanila, sandali lang po. Ikaw po ay may sariling angking kagandahan, kaya ito yung sasabihin ko sa'yo na po pwede nating gawin, and we can compromise about it. At it turned out to be good. Parang
Mhm.
yun ang learning ko
They
dito.
realized.
Yes, they realized na, oo nga no, Doc, sige, suspend muna. Oo, gagamutin ko muna yung gilagid mo kasi you got some perio problem. O umuuga na tong ipin na to, di ba? Parang ganyan. So I can refer. That is another way of growing our practice, referral.
Mhm.
Kasi andyan yung expertise eh. Para bang, sabi nga, Doc Robert will take care of the implant, and on surgery, me, I'll be taking care of the aesthetic. So, may balanse sa
Mhm.
treatment, and at the same time, yung health din nila is lagi ring napoproteksyonan. I think that's the only thing now in the modern dentistry that patient should be makaramdam pa rin silang tao pa rin sila na tinatrato ng dentista. So, I will keep on the advocacy of teaching them the ethical way of doing it, pero kaya mo rin namang mag-gain dyan out of it. So,
Definitely
wag
agree
lang
on
mawala
that.
yon.
Yes. Doc Robert.
Yeah, no, I would agree. The way that I was really was contemplating on the questions, I was thinking, ano nga bang magandang sabihin, no? And I would agree with Doc Ricky. Kasi remember, implant belongs to surgery.
Yeah.
Actually, implant belongs to surgery, perio, and prosto.
Yeah.
Okay? Masigano kang kagaling mag-implant,
Mhm.
kung hindi naman maganda yung restoration mo, hindi pa din maganda siya. It will bound to fail. Okay? We say that, yes, although kasi the problems with the implant treatment, remember, you have to have enough bone
Mhm.
Yeah,
to accommodate the implant.
correct.
But in the practice of implantology, seldom you encounter an ideal case. Diba? Kasi yung mga patient na may encounter mo dyan, yung mga patient na matagal na walang ngipin, of
Mhm.
course, we all know that the moment you extract the tooth, there will be bone resorption. And yung mga patient lang that can afford to pay the implant is yung mga medyo established na.
Mhm.
No? Kaya nga kakaipon nila, nag-resorb na yung buto, kaya when they have that money for the treatment, wala nang bone.
Mhm.
And so you have to have that knowledge in surgery when it comes to diagnosis, treatment planning, kasama na dyan yung bone grafting.
Mhm.
Okay? So you have to consider all of this. Then you have your bone na, you place the implant, you have good bone width and length, then here comes the restoration. Okay? Kaya parang sinasabi ko alam mo yung mga kapa-implant, dapat meron din you have to refer this to a medical doctor also.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No? Kasi sometimes maganda rin yung gawa mo sa kanila, hindi pa din eh.
Mhm.
No, kaya you have to partner with a good prosthodontist and perio and aesthetic dentistry
Mhm.
or dentist to plan this very well. So kailangan marami yung nag-handle sa isang case. Like ako, I can do implant. I
Mhm.
can do graft. I can place the implant kung saan pwede. Kung walang buto, I can put graft. The question is, paano yung aesthetics?
Mhm.
Maganda nga yung implant
So
mo,
it
tas
really has
pangit
to
yung
work
pasyente. Yeah.
hand
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
hand, diba? That's the good thing, that we are showing you the beauty of doing dentistry. You can choose whatever specialty you may want, and then work hand in hand with your other dentists or mentors who can help you with the specific treatment. Sa tingin ninyo, ano yung pinaka malaking challenge ng dentistry sa Philippines ngayon, Doc?
Wow. Siguro pinakamalaking challenge na mangyayari sa Philippine dentistry na
Yes,
ako
sir.
is addressing yung talagang oral health condition. Yun ang sa akin, ano. And then, siyempre, magfa-follow na yung maraming treatment approach na gagawin.
Mhm.
So siguro we still need as the growing and developing country, I should say, na kailangan mag-focus pa rin ng mga Filipino for a zero cavity
Mhm.
country. Kasi diyan mag-uumpisa, and then of course the family should be yan ang unang-una talagang magiging unang dentista
Mhm.
ng mga bata o ng ating mga anak. So they have to be given all the information. And I think, of course, we get organization like the Philippine Dental Association na nakafocus pa rin para sa proper toothbrushing. Kahit pa sabihin nating basic na yan, ba't
Mhm.
itinuturo pa? But definitely, yan ang pinaka-basic way wherein you can really avoid caries, no? Marami pa rin tayo ng mga Filipino na talaga kulang ang kaalaman
Mhm.
sa pangangalaga ng ngipin. So, tayong mga dentista na mga nauna na, palagay ko that will be an advocacy for us. A challenge for the Filipino na maging zero cavity country ang Pilipinas among Asia. Kasi alam ko diyan nag-uumpisa ang lahat ng sakit. So, palagay ko bago pa maka-approach tayo ng napakaraming technology,
Mhm.
andyan lang yan eh. Para bang you can always delay of buying a scanner, you can always delay buying or attending a lot of expensive and high skilled lecture, but you cannot delay yung bang caries ng community. Kaya palagay ko yun muna yung challenge na nahaharap ng ating organisasyon, at even sa mga dentistang nonood at nakikinig ngayon, yung awareness na para bang maging human pa rin tayo on that side.
Napakaganda ng sinabi ni Doc Ricky. Ikaw, Doc.
Actually, I would agree, no? So one, I don't know if my data is right, no? Siguro, yung Philippines pa rin may one of the highest caries index. I don't know I think 90+%.
Mhm.
No, so siguro we have to do that, the education on the oral health. No, kailangan yan. Siguro we should focus more on yung mga families, especially the moms. Kasi sila talaga yung nakakikita ng oral health ng bata, especially pag bata pa. And siguro second would be the illegal practice. Siguro yan. Anyway, PDA is there. And I think we should focus also on that, no? On that particular aspect. Na marami ng illegal practitioner now, no? Although the PDA has a good campaign on illegal practice, but still we have to help them kasi hindi nila kaya mag-isa, no?
Correct.
And we have to have that budget, no, to support this drive against illegal practitioners. Siguro ako yan ang masasabi ko, one of the challenges of that, no, of Philippine dentistry.
Okay. So last question for my both of guests would be, any tips, Doc, na mabibigay ninyo sa mga future dentists natin? Who would want to go first? You, Doc?
Okay, siguro never stop learning. Ako siguro, like ako in my age until now, I attend lectures. Although I'm a lecturer, I attend seminars locally and abroad. Then if may chance na mag-aral pa ako ng ibang specialty, I'll do that, no, for my patient. And second, siguro, be dedicated and have compassion. So kailangan hindi lang, of course, let's be realistic. The reason why you work because you want to earn. Pero yung earnings will follow if maganda yung trabaho mo sa pasyente, no? So dedication, you have to have that focus on really what you want to do, and you have to have compassion. Like sa amin sa surgery, no? So kailangan meron kang compassion na the patient will go to your clinic kasi gusto lang matreat yung problema nila. Especially in surgery, we encounter patient with pathological lesions, and unfortunately, ang sad part of it is this pathological lesions, usually you see this sa mga pasyenteng indigent. Now, we seldom see this sa mga pasyenteng hindi indigent. And of course, indigent patient, of course, so you have to have that compassion, no, to help them and treat this patient. Siguro yun ang masasabi ko sa mabibigay ko na advice sa mga batang dentista.
Galing ng sinabi ni Doc. Ikaw, Doc, any advice?
Okay. Siguro sa akin, sa mga young dentists,
Yes,
Doc
Doc.
Rizy, no? Palagay ko, number one is the work ethics. Yan ang lagi kong iniisip at lagi kong ini-impart whenever I finish my lecture. Because I know that the moment they finish and agreed on the lecture that I gave, para bang isipin nila na, oh, I can start now. Pwede ko na. But never forget, you can still accept and laging yung mga technology. You can. Parang wag ninyong isasarado. Pero never forget pa rin na kailangan pa rin ninyong mag-treat sa pasyente ng tama at mahusay, dahil minsan na-overpower tayo at na-overwhelm because of the technology kahit nga hindi na kailangan. ginagawa pa rin natin sa pasyente, nagiging
Mhm.
guinea pig sila. So, always accept challenges, laging kailangan, and then tama si Doc Robert, it's a learning process, kailangan mag-aral kayo,
Yeah.
wag kayong mahihinto dahil kailangan pa rin i-abreast ang modern technology, especially in dentistry. And lagi kong ipapakiusap sa mga young dentists ngayon na wag mawawala that teeth must be given an importance na parang hindi sila yung parang ngayon lang magagamit, pero kailangan pagbutihin ng pagtrato dito dahil human pa rin ang nagpo-possess nito. Kailangan pa rin nating pangalagaan ito.
Oras na para sa fun segment ng Safe Space Connects na Truth Be Told. Bibigyan ko lang kayo, docs, ng statement and then you will say fact or fake and then short explanation about it. Ready na kayo, Doc?
Yes.
Okay,
ready.
Okay.
For Doc Ricky, truth be told, ang pinakamagandang smile makeover ay hindi yung nakahalatang pinagawa. Fact or fake?
Fact. Yes. Why? Because kailangan kung aesthetics man yan or cosmetic to consider, it has to look like natural looking restoration. Kasi nga, kaya yan nag-seek ng treatment sa'yo para lang siyempre ma-restore yung smile niya at saka yung function. So, it has to look like a natural one.
Yes. Truth be told, ang smile design ay dapat nakaayon sa mukha, labi at personalidad ng pasyente, hindi lang sa uso. Fact or fake?
Still a fact. Kahit ang pasyente mag-demand ng kung ano man yung gustong ipagawa niya, kailangan pa rin i-explain sa kanya yan na ito yung mas babagay because we are the authority and we are the expert of doing things. So I think it's just a matter of explaining to the patient. So kailangan pa rin talagang babagay at kailangan din yung function niya would go with aesthetics.
Okay. For Doc Robert, truth be told, hindi lahat ng nawawalang ng ngipin ay pwedeng lagyan agad ng dental implant. Fact or fake?
Fact. Yes, because paano kung walang bone? You cannot place implant. So for the implant to be successful, you have to have enough bone width and bone height. So you don't need to place the implant right away, especially if there's no bone. So you have to prepare that. But we can by placing bone graft material, so we can place that implant. But you have to delay the treatment.
Truth be told, kapag walang sakit ang wisdom teeth, hindi na ito kailangan ipacheck. Fact or fake?
Fake. Because based on my experience and the cases that I have done, remember there are odontogenic cysts and tumors which is associated with unimpacted teeth. And remember, most of these tumors, odontogenic and cysts, grows without symptoms. Wala silang pain. No, kaya nga mostly when we discovered this, yung mga cases na ganyan, they request for an x-ray based on other reasons like magpapa-ortho. Tapos pagkita sa panoramic, doc, mayroong radiolucency surrounding the crown of the impacted tooth. So that's either dentigerous or ameloblastoma. So you need to have an x-ray, especially to evaluate whether that tooth has lesions or not. I'm not saying that all impacted teeth will have lesions, but there are possibilities.
Dahil special guest namin kayo, sasalang din kayo sa bagong segment namin na what you call this or that. Magbibigay lang ako sa inyo ng 2 choices and then kailangan ninyo mamili ng isa. Bawal ang none or both. Ready na kayo, Doc?
Ready
Okay,
na.
ready.
Okay. Crowns or bridges?
I think crown,
Crowns.
Root canal or extraction?
root canal,
Extraction.
Iron Man or Captain America?
Captain America,
Iron Man.
Whitening or veneers?
whitening.
Whitening.
Pizza or burger?
I go for pizza,
Burger.
Black or white?
white.
Black.
Morning person or night owl?
I'm a morning person.
Night owl.
Wow. Upper teeth or lower teeth?
Upper teeth.
Lower teeth.
One word that will describe you as a dentist.
Well, a disciplined one.
Focus and dedicated.
So bago tayo matapos, meron po ba kayong mga upcoming seminars, events, or projects na maaari naming abangan? At saan po kayo pwedeng i-follow mga docs ng ating mga listeners para sa inyong mga updates, Doc?
Well, thank you for this opportunity, Dr. Chrissy. Well, first of all, I would like to invite all the dentists, whether PAED member or non-PAED, because we're going to have our 30th anniversary this coming July 5 at Novotel. This will go with the aesthetic symposium at the first part, and then on the latter part would be the fellowship night. So I hope all the PAED graduates and non-PAED graduates are all invited to come. And lastly, of course, our first PFA Asian Summit that's
Oh.
going to be held on September 25 to 26 at Heritage Hotel. This will be a big event wherein the Pierre Fauchard Academy and the Philippine section will be the host country. And this will be the first in the Philippines to happen in PFA. So I would love to encourage and invite all the PFA fellows and also even non-fellows can really attend this scientific seminar because there are three pillars that we're going to take this one. The first would be the scientific session, and then the second part would be the convocation and induction of new PFA fellows, and last would be the gala night and the fellowship night, and it will be attended by a lot of PFA section chairman in Asia. So I hope that the Philippine section would really, support this coming event. And thank you for this one.
Thank you. How about your socials, Doc?
Well, for me, I think you can see me and secure some beautiful smile around. My clinic is located, one in Makati at GATS Dental Clinic in Aurovir Plaza in Bangkal. The other one is at UniHealth Southwoods Medical Center in Southwoods, Binyan, Laguna. And my private clinic is at GATS Dental, also at Rosario Commercial Complex in San Pedro, Laguna. You can catch me there for an appointment.
How about you, Doc Robert?
Okay, as mentioned by Doc Ricky, say yes, we'd like to invite everyone, not only a fellow but even non-member of PFA, to attend this very important event. So as mentioned by Doc Ricky, first tono sa Philippines. So this will be on September 25 and 26 at Heritage Hotel.
Yes.
So we prepared some good scientific lectures. Actually, we have a lot of lectures and good lectures, international and local. And I hope everyone will attend this event. So that will be on September 25 and 26. Of course, with our chairman, Dr. Clarissa Jane Pe. And second, although this is next week already, so I'll be having my own induction as president
Congratulations in
Thank you,
advance, Doc.
the Luing City Dental Chapter. So that will be on July 9 at EDSA Shangri-La Hotel. So it will be a scientific session. So I'll be having two great speakers. One would be talking about perio. My lecturer is Dr. Yvonne Chua of PSP. Second is a good friend talking about surgery and medicine, Dr. Charlie Meneses Ginto. Then we'll be having our induction in the evening 6 to 11 p.m. and also birthday party kasi it's also my birthday.
Advance happy birthday.
Thank you. Next would be we will be having the 10th year anniversary of my program, the RAQ oral surgery program. So with hashtag 10 years na si RAQ.
Wow.
This will be on December 7 at SEDA BGC. So everyone is invited. Actually, this is a reunion of all RAQ in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And also we are also inviting non-RAQ to attend. So it will be a big day event with lectures and of course fellowship. That will be on December 7, 2026 at SEDA BGC.
Wow.
And you can follow us at Facebook, RAQ Oral Surgery. And my clinic is located at Cityland Shaw, Lower Ground 19. And also in Medical Plaza Makati, together with my wife, Dr. Monica Sison Kiambao. And we have one in Broken Shore Hospital in Davao with Dr. Charito Reyes. And one in Quezon City, Providental, with Dr. Charlie Meneses Ginto.
Thank you. Despite you guys are so busy in a lot of things, thank you for spending your time and giving us your expertise today. Maraming salamat, Doc Ricky, Doc Robert. for sharing your knowledge, experiences, and insights with us today. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow Safe Space Connects on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more conversations that bring dentistry closer to real life. See you again on the next episode of Safe Space Connects.